Hi, and welcome to MediaPlace, a desktop software for Mac and Windows that allows you to edit and organize your media files in a very efficient way. You can rate your files, add tags and notes, and apply filters to find what you're looking for instantly. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the software itself, talk about some of its main features, and give you some tips on how to get started. All right, so once you launch MediaPlace for the very first time, it's going to prompt you to create your very first library. Now, a library is where you specify to the app where you want it to save all of your files. So we're going to go ahead and choose to create a new library, and just know that you can create multiple libraries and you can manage these inside the app. And then if you already have a MediaPlace library, you can always import that existing library into MediaPlace, and that'll work just as fine. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new library, and I'm going to go ahead and name this, let's call it Will's Media. All right, and I'm going to hit create. All right, and then I'll save it on a location. I'll save it here in my MediaPlace folder. And now it launches the MediaPlace application, and now I can go ahead and dive in and get started. All right, so the first thing we want to do is make sure that we're in the library. All right, and we want to go ahead and import in some assets. So I'm going to go ahead and click on import here at the top, and I'm going to navigate on my hard drive to some images that I have, and I'm going to click open. So once you're here, you're prompted with a dialog box that is basically telling you, do you want to import in the files as is, or do you want MediaPlace to create a destination folder and then input those pictures for you automatically? This is a great efficient way to get started, but we're going to go ahead and import them as is so I can show you how to create folders from scratch. All right, so here are the 3 photos that I've imported into our main library space here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a folder here by selecting the add button next to folders and select new folder. And then I'm going to go ahead and call this pictures. All right, so what I can do is I can come back over to all files and then select these 3 pictures and then nicely add them into the pictures folder. All right. Now what this does is it lets me categorize my pictures in a more organized way, right? So I can add anything I add picture-wise into this pictures folder, or I can create video folders and add video content, graphics, and you can have as many folders as you need to kind of help fit your organizational structure, right? So now if I click on the image in my library here, it opens up the info page on the right-hand side, and I can rename my image here. I can see the dimensions, the size, specific details about the file that I'm looking at, right? As well as this is where I can set my ratings. So if I come over here, maybe I want to give this picture a 4-star rating. And then it also shows me the main colors. Now this is super powerful in MediaPlace because it shows you all the colors that represent the file that you're working with, right? So maybe you're working with some designers and you need to send them the color profiles really quick. You can easily open these up, copy the color codes and send them their way so they can still work in the palette that you're working with, or copy these into another program and use it to create more content in those colors that you need, right? So super powerful. Underneath that, you've got the folder structure. So we've got this going to our pictures, right? So everything is housed in here for right now. And then you can add tags. So when you want to search up something, so if I want to add a tag, I've got some tags already listed out, but I could maybe have a cars tag. I can add a new tag. Maybe I want to call this this one outdoors, just so I know that the pictures I might look for that need to be outside, I can then have an outdoors tag. And then everything I search for outdoors will pop up for me when I search those. And then you've got a notes section. So maybe you want to jot some notes down or whatever that file type is. Maybe you need to make some corrections. You can input all that right there. So it's stored and it's easy available for you to view really quickly, right? So after the info page, you've got the edit, right? And this applies to pictures specifically. So from here, you can add elements to your picture. You can transform it, add backgrounds, change if you want to change it to a JPEG or a PNG, as well as adjusting all the different colors, brightness levels, or adding filters to your picture. And then you can always save it out or export it and use it for however you need to. So super powerful tools. You can crop, resize. There's lots of different things you can utilize in this edit page. Now, if I go to compress, you'll see we have a compression page. And this is really cool because it allows you to visually see the compression and what you're trying to do. So maybe you're going to export for certain formats for social media or for websites, or you're going to send files needing to be a little smaller. You can change whether you want to do that as a PNG or a JPEG. And then you can change the quality, right? So maybe I want to take this down to about 40%. You can see the original file size versus what that does to the new file size. And then it shows you exactly the percentage that it's doing it at. And then it's got this cool slider bar, and this allows you to visually see the compression happening in action, right? So you don't have to second guess anymore and export out and then go back in and re-export again. You can see what it's doing to the image, so you can make that judgment call right there on the spot, and then save it out, export it, and use it for however you need to. All right, we've talked a lot about images, so let's go ahead and go to video. So if I go back to, let's exit out of our compression page here, and let's go ahead and add a video folder, right? So just like we added a pictures, I'm gonna add a video folder. and let's show you how we work with video. So I don't have any video to import off my hard drive, but I'm gonna show you how to work with free media, right? So this is royalty-free, license-free stock images and stock video, as well as GIFs as well that you wanna use. But let's go ahead and click on the video tab here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and search up, say I'm working on a project that deals with the ocean, right? So I can search up something like the ocean here, and then it'll give me a whole bunch of video options that I can choose from. If I hover over, it'll play them. Some have sound, some don't. But let's say, for example, I want to use this picture or this video clip. I can then either save it and then it'll save it to the video folder, or I can just click right here, left click, and drag it onto my video folder that I created, right? So it shows it's importing, and then once it's done, it will then tell me that it's imported. And now if I go back to our library here, you'll see that inside my video folder, here is the video clip that I have just imported from the free media section, right? So super powerful. You can get footage and pictures that you might need to utilize for your projects to help drive the creativity a little bit better, right? So now again, when I select the video clip, you'll see that I have access to rename it here as well. I have all the information that I had for dimension, sizes. For video, you get the duration time, right? So you can quickly see how long that video clip is, which is super powerful, as well as the extension type, right? This is an MP4. All right, again, you can rate your video clips just like you can with any other files in MediaPlace. So we'll give this one like a 4-star. And then here are the color palettes that make up this video, which is super powerful as well. Then you can also add tags. So maybe this one, we want to give it a drone tag. Maybe we want to give it an ocean tag. Maybe a beach, just to kind of make it, we know that that's the feel that we're going for, right? So when you search up these things later, when you give them tags, you can just quickly find them, and that's like the power of MediaPlace, right? And again, then you have a spot to take notes. So whether you want to take notes about this specific video or not, you have a spot to do that, so super powerful. Now the edit section for video is really cool because you can quickly trim a video clip, export it out, and use it for whatever you need really quickly. So let's, for example, say I click on trim here. I can say, okay, you know what? I want it to start here instead of back over here, and then I want it to, maybe it's got to be a little shorter than the length it's at, so I can bring it down right here, and it tells you that I'm trimming for this many seconds to this seconds, and it tells you the duration of my trim, right? So I know exactly the specific time that I'm getting with my trim, which is awesome. All right, so from here you can choose video settings that you want to export as, quality levels, whether you want to invert or flip the images, you can do that for video. What you want to save it as, an MOV, MP4. You also have audio settings as well. If your video has associated audio, if it's got images as well as GIF settings you can set as well. If you want to turn it into a GIF, you can do that too. And then you can save it as a new, or you can drag it into the folder and it'll export and create a new copy for you wherever you choose to save it to. So super powerful features in MediaPlace for video, for stuff on the fly. So super quick, right? So I'm gonna exit out of here and go back to the, let's go back to all our files here. Now in all files here, we have options to view the library in different ways, right? So we can choose to enlarge these a little bit by clicking on the plus button in the top right corner, or if I hit minus, it'll shrink down my files so I can have a higher view to kind of see everything all at once. I can choose the info. So if I want to show or not show the ratings, I can deselect the ratings there, or my format, I can take away what file type that is there easily. And if I want to select everything at once, I can just select this button here at the top here, select all. And then I can also choose to sort by names, file types, dimensions. Maybe you don't want to see pictures. Maybe you want to see only videos, or you want to see only rated images, right? Or rated video. You can do that here. So it's super powerful and easily customizable inside of MediaPlace. Now, if I want to search for something, right, I can search for it in the search bar based off of tags or ratings. You can get even more specific with your filters by clicking right here and then choosing, do I want to only search for things like MP4s at once to weed out everything? I only want to see PNGs, or maybe I want to see EPS files and AVIs. You can get real specific, or you can search for just only tags, right? You can type a tag in here and only see that tag. Search for ratings. I want to see 3-star rating clips only, right? Dimensions, shape, size, duration. You can get real specific, right? Especially for video, right? You're like, oh, I really need to search for video clips for this project I have, and I need only 10-second clips. So you can search for that, and it's easily searchable, and you can just quit wasting time on just trying to sort through hundreds of files when you can just narrow things down inside of MediaPlace. So it's super powerful. All right, so we've gone over pictures and video clips, creating folder structures, the different edit modes inside of MediaPlace. We've talked about using free media, which is a really awesome tool to help drive your projects and make things a lot easier for you to use when you're inside of this program. So it's super awesome. right, next up, we're gonna talk about the browser. So the browser is a very powerful tool because it allows you to type in a website URL in the search bar here. If I search it up, you'll see that it brings up on the right-hand side all of the images, video, and SVG files that are associated with this website, right? So I could take something like this and then I could save it out. I could drag it to a pictures folder that I have and it'll import it in. And it'll do the same thing with, so this is everything all at once. This has access to all the images, the SVGs as well, and then you have the video clips. So it'll start populating video in a timely manner, and then I could take these and I could drag it to my video, right? So it'll import it in, and it's a super powerful feature, right? So if you're looking for something, looking for inspiration, this is a great way to put in a website, see what they're working with, see how things are done, and then grab them into your own MediaPlace and put them in your own file structure and get them working from that way. So super powerful tool, right? Next up, we have Generate, right? So Generate will allow us to create some really cool background visuals for the projects that we're working with, right? So we've got solid colors, right? So we can choose solid, we can change the color here. We can change the color mode. We want it to be linear. Do we want it to be radial, right? You can change those color settings and then change the complexity of those or the size, right? Which is pretty cool. Then you can hit generate and it'll just generate different versions to find something you like, right? You can export these out in different resolutions, whether that be full HD, 4K, HD, or different square or vertical sizes for social, just depending on what you're trying to do, as well as the ability to save out PNGs and SVGs. All right, so you do have different options, right? There's different styles here that you can choose from that give you different options, right? So right here, you can change the draw type for the wave to peaks maybe, or you can play around with steps. There's just different things that you can do based off of the choice that you select, right? So say, for example, I choose these guys. This gives me the option to change the shape, right? So I can come in here, I can change the shapes to these. I can even create some Apple logos, right? Maybe depending on what you're trying to create, maybe you're working on an advertising scheme. There's so many options in here that allow you for the creativity to flow, right? So again, the options are endless. And then from there, you can change colors. Maybe you want this to be blue instead. You can do that, and then you can generate different formations and different options, right? And then save out those templates for those visuals that you need for the projects that you want. So super powerful within the Generate tool. And we'll get into more detail in future tutorials with this with the Generate tab here. Next up, we're gonna go to Slides. All right, so Slides is really cool because you can add images in here and it'll start auto-creating a slideshow for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like real fast. So when you're inside of Slides, you're prompted with this Add Image box, right? So if I click on this, it'll open up another dialog box, which allows me to see all the images that I have available to me to use. So right now I've only got these 3 images. So if I select these all, take this guy, hold shift and select the last 2 there, and then I can confirm my selected images. It auto-generated a really cool slideshow with a lot of effects and things and text built in, so I can just focus on filling in the gaps, right? So if I play this back, you'll see that there's a prompt for some text to go in, and then I'll see the transition that happens between the photos as well, right? So let's stop this and let's scroll back real fast. And what you can do is you can make adjustments to transitions by clicking on the transitions icon, selecting on the transition of your choice, and then filling in that. So I can click on this and change it for just that specific transition, or I can apply to all slides. And then now all the transitions between those will be the grid transition, right? So super cool. Now, if I want to change the text here that comes up, I can click on Edit Slide, and that will allow me to come in here and edit the text. And insert whatever's appropriate for the project you're working on, all right? And then I can exit the edit mode there, and then we're good to go. All right, and from here, you have access to the slide information on the right. So how long do you want this slideshow to be? 5 to 20 seconds long. Your effects, so the zoom in effect, do you want that to happen? You can hover over each of these. You can have it zoom out instead, or maybe zoom and rotate, just depending on what options you're looking for your project needs, right? So we'll keep it on zoom in for now. You can change the colors for text. You can adjust the enter effect. So do you want it to come in from the right or have it come out from the right out? You can easily apply all these settings to all slides as you go. So it's super fast and efficient. And if you need more pictures, you can import in more as you go, or you can always go find more in the free media section of MediaPlace, right? And then you can save out your slideshow and export it for whatever project needs you may have, right? So that is an overview of MediaPlace and how powerful it can be in helping you in your creative workflow. In the next set of videos that we put out, we'll go deeper into each section and explain how they can help you enhance your creative workflow even further. Until then, keep creating.